All right, Jason. Well, Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin is taking to social media to address two recent inmate deaths.
They died while they were being held at the Birmingham City Jail last week. WBTM 13's Michael Higdon leads our team coverage with what the mayor had to say.
Well, Mayor Woodfin made a heartfelt post discussing these deaths, saying these two people were not statistics or numbers. They were human beings and deserve to be spoken about with care and compassion. The mayor says the first death was Kalina Peaches Krosky, a 32-year-old who brought laughter and joy into every room. The second was Kendall Sweezer, who is 35. He says Kendall was somebody's son, somebody's family. The mayor then explains what happened. He says both Peaches and Kendall had attempted to take their own lives once before at the city jail. In both cases, jail staff intervened. He says in both cases, they were taken to UAB for evaluation, and in both cases, UAB released them back to the jail. Woodfin says procedure and protocols from staff was followed. The coroner's office has found no signs of foul play, and he says, unfortunately, both Peaches and Kendall committed suicide. Woodfin says community members have every right to be concerned about deaths in the city jail. He says you will be hearing more in the coming days from public safety teams as that investigation continues. The mayor also concluded his post saying if you or someone you know is experiencing suicidal thoughts, to please reach out to Crisis Center Birmingham because your life matters. You can find that number on your screen right now, 205-323-7777. In studio, I'm Michael Higdon.
Since those first reports over the inmates' deaths at the jail, some activists have been looking for answers and accountability. So much so, one of them claims he was arrested while doing so yesterday, caught in this video. Take a closer look.
I request to meet with Randall Woodfin. Tell that coward to come out. Tell that coward to come out. Tell that coward to come out.
The man you see in this video is Eric Hall, one of the co-founders of Black Lives Matter Birmingham. He says he was live streaming on social media when these moments happened and was charged with disorderly conduct. WVTM 13's Aaron Llewellyn shares that while Hall says he was in a position to bail himself out, others aren't.
We say the name Xavier Gray. We say the name of Peaches Krosky, and we also say the name of Kay Sweezer.
Eric Hall with Black Lives Matter says 3 people recently killed by police or who died in police custody should still be alive.
Those individuals that were in the Birmingham City Jail were in the custody and care of the city leadership. And it's the city leadership that was neglectful, and they failed these individuals whose lives were taken.
Here to request a meeting with the mayor.
This is video of Hall inside Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin's office on Tuesday.
Watch the embarrassment of a progressive mayor.
He told me he occupied the mayor's office to advocate for people he believes were victimized by police violence and to push city leaders into real conversations about what he says is happening inside the jail.
The leadership always talk about, well, organizers need to give solutions, but we're not at the table to provide those solutions. And so I went there with the intentions and the demands to pull up a seat to the table.
Hall says while he was trying to set up a meeting with Woodfin, he was met by men in suits. What followed were some tense moments.
You don't tell me to move. You have to go. I don't have to go nowhere. I'm a citizen. And so if you want to put me in jail, put me in jail. I'm going to leave when the mayor comes.
Which included yelling and Hall eventually being thrown to the ground by police.
Tell that coward to come out. Tell that coward to come out. Tell that coward to come out. Tell that coward to come and steal right here.
I knew that things were going to escalate and that I would probably go to jail, but I couldn't let that stop me, right? Because it's bigger than just me.
He was then arrested for disorderly conduct and physical harassment.
Labeled a loud activist. Well, I'll continue to be loud when it comes to our people, when it comes to fighting for black lives, when it comes to police violence and systemic injustice.
Moving forward, Hall says he wants to see the city embrace what he calls transformative leadership. For him, that means investing in caring for people rather than caging them.
The jail deserves a social worker. The jail deserves a chaplain. The jail deserves wraparound services so that those who do not have, they can at least come out rehabilitated.
Hall says he has a pending court date for August 25th, but he hopes to have the issues addressed before then. As of right now, Hall says he still hasn't heard from Mayor Woodfin. Take Resource Center, a group in Birmingham for transgender people of color, says they'll take time to remember Krosky this weekend during their Juneteenth celebrations Saturday afternoon. The family of a nurse shot and killed in the parking lot of DCH has filed a new wrongful death lawsuit against the hospital. Court documents show Ada Doss's husband, Andrew, claims the hospital allowed the suspect, Matthew Taylor, to roam around the Tuscaloosa emergency room unmonitored for hours. Doss says that negligence from the hospital caused Ada's death, and they're asking the court for damages. Doss claims he was on the phone with Ada when the shooting happened, adding his wife's final words were, quote, "Please don't, I have babies." DCH representatives sent us a statement saying while they cannot comment on pending litigation, the loss of Ada is also personal to them. DCH says they've been enhancing security measures since this happened and continue to implement new things based on community feedback.
The challenges to Senator Tommy Tuberville's Alabama residency are now going in front of a judge. A new lawsuit was filed against him and current Alabama Secretary of State Wes Allen just before noon today. It comes from two realtors in Mobile and Jefferson counties. Court documents show the plaintiffs claim that Tuberville has been living in a multi-million-dollar beachfront home on Santa Rosa Beach in Florida. They claim it's been in his family's possession since 2004. And the plaintiffs say in an interview from back in April also supports their claim. And they say that Tuberville admitted to only going back to Auburn for ball games. Now, we did get a statement from Tuberville's team about this. They say that the state's Republican Party unanimously confirmed that he is qualified to run. Just last Sunday, the Alabama GOP held a final hearing on a challenge from Ken McFeeters on the senator's residency. The party decided he meets the residency requirements to run for governor of Alabama.